You getting nervous yet, bud?
You know, I have moments, but it's just like the nervousness that I would think would come with something like this. No, not really.
You know, it'll hit you. It'll hit you right beforehand. So don't
I'm
run,
sure
Nicholas.
there's some
Don't make a
anxious.
scene. Don't run. It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay, little
Did you
buddy.
think about running?
Oh God, no! You kidding me?
You wouldn't say that out
I,
loud,
I
anyways.
I I outkicked my coverage by 1,000 yards. I was hanging on for dear life. That's for damn sure. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, the Dork Shared Universe at Geeks Worldwide Radio proudly presents to you the greatest. I mean the greatest. And don't you ever fucking forget that we are the greatest podcasting team in the world. He's a married guy, soon to be married guy, Friar guy, Nick Friar. I'm your friendly neighborhood backcracker, Dr. Joe, and together we are the TLDR Comic Book Club, baby. Nicholas, how's it going?
It is going outstanding, Joe. And yes, my wedding is coming up, and it's a good time to remind everybody that while after the wedding we will have an episode that we stream. If you haven't already subscribed to our audio channels, make sure you do, because in the time that I'm on my honeymoon, Joe's also going to be going away right after that. There's going to be a stretch where we're going to be audio only. It's going to be a 3-week span. We got a couple fun things planned for you guys. Maybe still one thing in the works. We'll see. But we are planning to have something for you each week, even though we're going to be away. The only place you can find those are on Apple, Spotify, Geeks Worldwide Radio, SoundCloud, Amazon. I always want to say Stitcher because it's like just part of it, but like they're not a thing anymore. So there's that. And then wherever you listen to us, would be a real big help if you would subscribe. It's going to help you out too, because all the episodes that we do, whether it's a regular mainline episode, a solicit, what's new, or an interview, those are the only places you can find our Friar Side chats. They're all going to get delivered right to your listening device right around midnight of New Comic Book Day. And then sometimes you'll get stuff on Fridays as well if we do 2 things in a week. And please leave a rating and a review as well. If it's Apple, 5 stars only, you're going to learn the real meaning of backcracker. Anywhere else, whatever the highest rating you can leave, please do that. But yeah, we got a solicit plan this week. We are doing it a little bit early just because you and I are going to be coming off a weekend of festivities, and I think it's best for us that we just
Real debauchery, a weekend of real debauchery. I gotta tell you what. I hope you told your old man I'm looking forward to them subs. I mean, he easily hit me a couple 2-3 of them some bitches.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna get plenty of those.
I'm not lying, Nicholas. I've been thinking about him ever since you told me he was bringing them.
Okay, so I like obviously eat it, but don't like. I know you like to eat. Like I like to eat.
Oh,
too.
Thanks.
Don't. I know you do. I'm not. This is not a joke. Do not fill up on that shit, because the food that we're gonna get at dinner. I know there's gonna be like a long span in between, but the food we're gonna get at dinner is gonna knock your socks off by comparison.
Oh no. They're not pre-wedding subs. They're gonna be pocket subs.
Okay.
They're gonna be in there at the ready throughout the day. Maybe pop a couple 2-3 in my fridge, back in my room. So yeah.
Okay, well, you're not getting them till after the ceremony.
Yeah, I'll pocket them. I'll make them. I'll make them put them in her purse.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
Pocket dogs, bro. Come on. Anyway, first rodeo.
Oh man, but yes, with that, obviously we've been fairly busy recently, but there has been some time for me to do a little bit of catching up going into the solicit. Had to read Ghost Rider issue 17 because another issue of that crossover with Wolverine is out this week. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I did get to check out Dark Knights of Steel, Joe, issue 12, which I know you talked about it when it came out last week. How it was okay. Like it was a good ending. It wasn't like this mind-blowing thing. I do think what they did with Waller was very interesting. Spoilers, it's been a week since it came out. If you've been trade waiting this, then don't listen for a second. I do kind of like what they did with Waller because now she's still there, and it was pretty smooth what she ended up doing. I know you kind of hate her character in this, but she's a big player and could have a real impact if they do more, which Tom Taylor's kind of hinted at possibly doing more in the Dark Knights of Steel world.
Oh yeah, it makes 100% sense. I wanted justice. I wanted her to get her comeuppance, but that's Amanda Waller, right? I think the difference between her and Nick Fury, right, is that I think she is every bit as slimy as the Suicide Squad that she oversees.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's a
Yeah.
part of me that always wants to see her get her due, and she does it, and it drives me nuts. But I think that's a testament to just how I hate to say it, good Nick, a testament to how good her character is, because like that's I think exactly who she's supposed to be. She's
Yep.
supposed to be a very sort of divisive character, and so for that character, especially in this story, to elicit that response from me versus like just a flat out, oh, I'm gonna hate everything because I hate everything. There's a difference there, right?
Yeah.
It's just a testament again
100%.
to King's writing, and I think for the writers for the most part that tackle her character, whether it be in comics or in movies. But I was expecting just a little bit more. I think it was very fine editing.
Yeah.
They can do a lot of really good things with this, down the road, and hopefully Tom King is at the center of it.
Yes. And yeah, I mean Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor.
Wow, you're just like the rest of the internet, man. It's
Well, I'm
unbelievable.
gonna here's a small market tease for a big market podcast, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah. Somewhere down the line in one of these number ones that's coming out this month, you might be surprised at a book that I chose to highlight.
Well, let's not further delay because you didn't have anything that you caught up on, right?
No, because I meant to read Big Game issue 2 and I did like a fucking
Oh,
dummy.
I did read Big. I knew I was forgetting something else. Big Game issue 2. Oh my god, you haven't read Big Game issue 2 yet, dude?
Dude, it's on my dibs list, dummy.
Big Game's not on your dibs list.
Go check.
I
Give it a
said
peep.
no. I said fuck you. We're not doing that. Yeah, okay, dude. It's so good.
What is it?
It was oh man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I saw a bunch of people.
You gotta read it. It's that good.
I saw a bunch of people tweeting it about just how nuts it was, and then someone got me drunk this weekend, and had me drink too much, and I forgot about reading it, but I'll be talking about that one for shout.
Joe's got some top shelf liquor at his place. That's for damn sure. But I'll tell you, but you know, like that's something where we've talked before about, hey, should we ever do episodes on books that we've both read, events, whatever. That's one that, we've talked about possibly doing it with no one, but Big Game, we may want to do that sooner because obviously it's only 5 issues and the first 2 issues have been outstanding. The second one was definitely better than the second one was better. Yeah. Okay. But let's get, thank you for reminding me of that, but let's get to what's new this week. The final, not full week of August, but either way, let's start us off with Marvel.
Yeah, it's an interesting what's new this week, and it's going to be an interesting September Solicit once we get to the first week of September. But from Marvel this week, we have Moon Knight Annual Issue 1, Ultimate Invasion Issue 3, The Incredible Hulk Issue 3. I'm going to just warn everyone right now, any omissions or fuck-ups. I was half asleep last night. I was really, really tie when I was typing this up. So please bear with me.
Why did you tell me? I would have helped you out. What is
Nah. It's like keeps everyone on their toes, Nicholas.
Yeah, there you go.
Star Wars Bounty Hunters Issue 37. Miss Marvel, The New Mutant Issue 1. Death of the Venomverse Issue 3, which Nicholas does in fact have dibs on.
Yes.
Deadpool Batter Blood Issue 3. I almost read that as Bladder Blood Issue 3. That would have been really bad for Deadpool. Cult of Carnage Misery Issue 4. Marvel Age Issue 1000. That's a big one. Danny Ketch Ghost Rider Issue 4. The Mandalorian Season 2 Issue 3. And Spider-Man India Issue 3. Fun fact about Spider-Man India. Swaggins, huge fan.
Yeah?
She loves him in The Spot. Those are like her 2 favorite characters from the movie.
Really?
She thought he was hilarious. Yeah. Well, initially thought the bodega scene in the beginning really had her in stitches. But we've got 2 books here from Marvel this week, Nicholas. Where would you like to begin, my friend?
Why don't we begin things with, I think, the one that's on everybody's mind the most, and that's Wolverine issue 36. This is the 3rd issue, part 3 of the Weapons of Vengeance crossover between Wolverine and Ghost Rider.
Holy shit, Nicholas. Not only was this a great issue, right? But the second to last page there, right towards the end, the big sort of splash page there from Shaw. that image of Wolverine. I don't
Mhm.
want to say anything. I
Yep.
don't want to say it because I want to spoil anything. But that might be one of the most badass, just 2-page fold out layouts of Wolverine I have ever seen.
Yeah. Yep. That's a poster. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking tremendous. Like you see, where the story's headed, and which was great because it is not very often that you catch Logan or anyone catches Logan off guard. Um, well, we saw Beast do it, but like this,
Yeah. A little
and
different.
then you kind of see sort of all the things that are leading up to that moment in the book towards the end, and when you get that image, it is the epitome of a jaw-dropping image. And you just go, fuck,
Yep.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
And that we've seen it all from Wolverine and Logan in the past, but nothing like this. Absolutely excellent.
And there's some, like, we've talked about it with Ghost Rider, how it's surprising that Marvel, because Disney and everything, how dark Benjamin Percy has been able to go with Ghost Rider and the various artists he has over there. But here, like, we see Jeff Shaw go really, really
Yeah.
dark. Like, you're talking about the badass imagery, but I'm kind of blown away at some of like the grisly stuff that we have in this issue. And it's, hey, like, that's what you want with Wolverine. That's what you want with Ghost Rider. It's just, nowadays, to me, it feels like it's a little more surprising when you get it. But this is some dark, dark shit. But again, we've said it before. Benjamin Percy does a great job writing these two characters. And this crossover event is everything that you want it to be. We only have one more issue of this left. Like, I could totally be down for more of this at some point down the line. But the way he's done it, where he's kind of doing some flashbacks, and then but helping tell the story of the present by doing so, I think he's done a really good job bouncing around there. But I agree, like, there's like, you're getting a little bit of like old feel with Logan, and then there's some crazy new shit, and in general it's been controlled chaos, and that's perfect for both of these characters.
Yeah, and I can't get over, or can't say enough really, just how perfect this little mini event is. You're crossing over two books.
Yeah.
You don't have to have read the
Right.
prior books to know what's going on. You just bang, bang, bang. It's a great way to introduce new readers. It's a great way to introduce new readers to both of these titles if they hadn't been reading them. Whereas if you got something like War of the Realms or something else where you need all this, it gets tough and daunting. And there's 1,000 books. No, that's it. It's bang, 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 bang. Perfect.
Yep.
Over and out. It's done perfectly. And it is fucking metal, man. It is tremendous.
I would think that once this becomes a trade too, this is something that will sell well for a
Yes,
long time. Like, this is something that will
100%.
always, like, if you're like, hey, like, what's a cool dark Marvel story? Boom. The Ghost Rider Wolverine Spirits of Vengeance, not Spirits of Vengeance, Weapons of Vengeance
Yeah.
crossover. Awesome stuff. Then the other thing we got too this week is Blade issue 2, which I for some reason thought you were checking this one out, Joe. But I guess I'm riding solo on this. Brian Hill and Elena Casagrande. And it's funny, I didn't like the art style felt familiar as I was reading this second issue, and I was like, wait a second. I hadn't really noticed it yet, but then there was one of those kind of action sequences that we got in the Kelly Thompson, Elena Casagrande, Black Widow series, and I was like, wait a second, this is the Black Widow, of course, okay, not like I knew exactly who, like, because she has this thing that she does, like, it's what was it, that whole panelist issue that we got of Nightwing in Black Widow, we would get like this, like, action sequences like that, like a splash of that, or sometimes a spread of that. And we get that here in this issue of Blade as well. I don't think we got it in the last issue, but for those who have been excited about Blade, you're entering the fray in the MCU. If you liked the Blade movie, maybe you just read Blade comics, a while back, and just been trying, itching for some more. This has been interesting to start. I'm not going to go ahead and say that this is definitely TLDR worthy at this stage. I know you like to call that shot by the second issue, and sometimes it's very easy to do that. But this is one that I want to see how it goes a little bit longer. The mood of it is great. This is dark. This is violent. The stakes of it are pretty high too. Blade has stepped in it pretty bad in the first issue, which was kind of a nice little surprise for me in this. And then we get a new character who's joined the mix, who's like Blade's ally, but also kind of she's kind of a piece of shit too. So it's an interesting mix. So it's a promising first 2 issues. If you're interested, go ahead and get started on it and make a decision for yourself. But I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Definitely going to keep reading this, but wait a little bit longer to make that call on if it's like good, but not quite TLDR worthy, or maybe it is TLDR worthy. So I just need a little time.
And I forgot Brian Edward Hill is the writer on this. He's an excellent writer. So
Yeah. It's
unless
been
you
good.
call dibs, I think I'm going to go back and catch up on this because I do like the character, and it's been some time. I mean, I think the last Blade movie I saw was Blade 2, and God knows how long that was.
Well,
but he is a great character, and there was a lot of hype, and then it was with the new movie, and then is it on? Who knows? But Brian Edward Hill is definitely a great writer, I think, to attach to this. So I will give it a go.
Yeah, by all means. I'm not calling dibs on it because I kind of want to wait a little bit. But I'm like, if you forget to, and I feel still pretty good about the 3rd issue,
Well,
then
that's
I
on
will.
me.
Yeah,
then that's
on
on
you.
me.
Yep. All right. So DC this week we got Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, issue 5. Action Comics presents Doomsday Special issue 1. The Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House issue 4. Gnort's Illustrated Swimsuit Edition, issue 1. I think that's more your speed. Catwoman Uncovered, issue 1. And then Night Terrors, Night's End, issue 1. Not upset about that. And then we got a couple of titles that you are reading, Joe. The Riddler, year 1, issue 6. Is this the final issue, or is it 8-issue series?
No, this is the final issue, and I don't want to go into this too much because I want to talk about this book on the show.
Right.
But when I've talked about it in the past, it's been a really great origin story for this character in the Matt Reeves universe, and this issue really this is how you really see how the sausage was made leading into the movie. Like before, it was a lot of Riddler stuff, like just him. I don't want to say too much, but all the events that happen in the Batman movie, you really get to see those parts come together, get fleshed out really well in this particular issue. So that was excellent. But the book I really want to talk about today from DC is Batcat. Now, normally when you hear the words Batcat come out of my mouth, it was followed by, well, some expletives. But not this time. Not by my chip. Ain't gonna happen. Batcat, the Gotham War Battle Lines, issue 1. This issue was written by Chip Zdarsky and there's another writer on this.
I'll find it. Go ahead, keep going.
But anyway, so it was great.
Teeny Howard, right?
Yes, thank you. Excellent. And so this is an event, like, I wasn't into Night Terrors. I read the first issue, the first like mainline issue of that, and I was like, okay, it's fine, but we've gotten a lot of DC doing the horror stuff, either with nightmares or zombies or vampires or whatever. It just, I don't know, it didn't do it for me. It didn't pull me in. What Chip did with this, now I don't believe he's writing the mainline, story for this event. I think Williamson has duties on that, or maybe it's Matthew Rosenberg. But I know a bunch of writers are going to be doing a bunch of little spin-offs and one-offs, for this series. But this was excellent because what we're getting in this is the events that that ended with the last arc of Zdarsky's Batman tie right into this, and the fact that and same thing with Night Terror, in the sense that Batman's been out for 8 weeks. And in that time, Gotham has changed, and the Catwoman is at the center of it. And she's trying to, she's changing how crime is being done in Gotham, and it's surprisingly for the better. And what we know about Chip Zdarsky, when he's writing these characters, he's really great at getting to the human center of all of his characters, and he does that great here with Selina. He does that great here with Tim Drake. He does it real great with Bruce. He does it with Nightwing. He does it with Jason. I mean, this was a really great sort of action-packed. There's a chock full of information that happens in this book, but it's really fascinating about what is going to be happening in this event. The way, when you hear Batcat, you think of fucking Tom King and you think of, and there's even some subtle references to the wedding in this, which I thought were great, actually. I don't want to call them shots, but just when you read it, you'll know. But this is now Bruce and Selena. They're not just cohorts and lovers in the night. They are now like they're headbutting against each other, and it's gonna get worse between the two of them before it gets better. So this was excellent.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. I didn't think I was gonna be in on this this event, but I'm definitely gonna give it I'm gonna give it a go and see how long that lasts.
By the way, it looks like it is going to be like Chip and Teeny Howard throughout, because it's basically a story that's going to bleed into
Okay,
Batman and
because
Catwoman.
I think I saw, so maybe those were more like the one-offs then.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
I think,
there's the Red Hood stuff, and that's Matt Rosenberg,
yeah,
I believe, who has those.
okay, because I thought I saw Williamson's name on the next Batcat thing that I saw on there. So, but maybe I was again half asleep and mistaken. But this is definitely worth checking out for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. That's as promising as you can hope for one of these things to be. Before I move on from the big two, I did just want to circle back on one thing really quickly. The Miss Marvel New Mutant. I did check that one out, just because I'm trying to get I'd stopped on a lot of X-Men stuff, and after Hellfire Gala 2023, I want to try and get in on as much of the new titles as I can. That was solid. I'm not like, it's not one that I would want to call dibs on yet, but it was solid. Not like, doesn't strike me as TLDR worthy. I may look at it a little bit more. This also was co-written by Iman Vellani, who actually plays Miss Marvel. And if you like the show, you're definitely gonna feel like her voice is in this character, which is one of the better parts of this issue. And the art was really good too. So just didn't move the needle for me, but it's definitely well done. So I just wanted to throw that one out there since it's a number one. But why don't you take us to Image?
Image, man. So I don't know if publishers are a little light because it's leading into a holiday weekend. But we still
They just
have
had a
some more.
massive week last week.
They did. They'd be like, okay, we got slow down a little bit here. But we have Monstrous, issue 47. Capterra, speaking of my chip, Capterra Universal Truths, issue 1. I believe this is the start of the second volume.
Correct.
We have The Savage Strength of Starstorm, issue 4. We have Local Man Gold, issue 1. This is a one-shot, of course, by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks. They talked about this a few weeks back. This is sort of like, this is a fun little story that's being told. I haven't read it yet. I just kind of, flipped through it. But this will sort of lead into what will be the start of the next arc for Local Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have World Tree, issue 5. This is the end of the story so far. And I don't know if this will continue or not. But when I say Tynan really just sort of took the restrictor plate off and went just full banana land crazy, this is the series. That's awesome, man. And I've talked just about how vicious this story has been and how fucked up it's been. Well, this issue didn't hold back either, man. And he did a great job of building this story, through the first 4 issues, and then giving us this issue where we really, for the first time, kind of get a glance at what the world is to become and how the main. Again, I want to talk about it on the show, so I don't want to say too much. But it was fucking excellent, and it was just told so well.
If there's a book
the structure of it,
extremely excited to hear about from you, it is this one. Local Man is a book that I'm going to be reading while I'm going to be adding to my list while I'm away, trying to catch up on that one, because obviously you've talked about it on the show. I'm taking stock of all the things that I want to read, because obviously I'm going to have a lot of airtime. So unfortunately, World Tree is not going to be on that list just yet.
You just freaked me out there for a second, because Local Man is a book I'm looking forward to. It's like, wait, didn't I talk about that on the show?
Yeah.
Did I just fucking make that up? Oh, shit, I got to read Local Man.
Yeah. Yes, no, you're good. So then from Skybound, who also, of course, publishes through Image, we have Arcade Kings issue 4. And then we have Boom, who has looks like just 2 books from them this week. There may be a trade in there, but either way, it's 2 books that I am reading. Well, one's a one-off. And normally we don't talk a whole lot about one-offs on here. Like we'll mention it, but like we don't go into them like at great length just because it's one-off. Yeah, it's a fun thing, whatever. There's only so much you can get into. But this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 30th anniversary special is something that I need to talk about a little bit. So we have stories from Ryan Parrott and Matt Groom, along with Amy Jo Johnson, it was Kimberly, the original Pink Ranger, and a few others in here. But the one that so I read Ryan's. It's an ode to Ernie, and I really like that. Thought Ryan did a good job with that one with Eleonora Carlini. But the other one that I read before this that I absolutely had to, and this was just like, I guess maybe serendipitous is the right word, but Wedding Vows by Melissa Flores and Henry Prosetia. And I was like, as soon as I saw that, I actually read it first because I was like, wait a minute, what? I'd seen some of like the first page of art from Melissa. I think she put it out, or maybe somebody had put preview pages out. I'm not sure. But I saw that Tommy was in it, and I thought like, oh, wow. I saw the art, and I was like, this is pretty sick. But it was wild because this is about Tommy getting married and I was just like, of all the times for this to kind of come out, I don't say this often, but this was like one of the few times I've ever felt like really this felt like it was for me. It was so strange. And we talk about like emotions that comics elicit but I've never like actually teared up. Like you've talked about how you've gotten emotional, like with some of the Lemire books. I don't know if any others, but I know there's like 2 Lemire books that have gotten you emotional. But to have it be Tommy, who like pretty much like most guys who were fans of the original Power Rangers, that's like by and large, that's your favorite character. For like to see him experiencing that with Kat, and then to have this come out like this the week of my wedding is just like was very, very strange. And it was in the best of ways. And I like read it first thing this morning before the show, and I teared up, and then I talked to Lauren about it, and then I teared up more. It was so wild. And like I said, like it felt like it was. I don't say this lightly. Like it felt like it was for me, and I don't need that. But this was like one of the few times I've ever felt that way about any story.
Please tell me you're dressing up as a Power Ranger for your wedding day.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about? What do you mean? You are too.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah. What the hell? What is this? But yeah.
Is that how we're all gonna how we're all gonna come down the aisle? We'll form a Megazord at the end.
There's 6 of us. So somebody's gonna dress up as either Zed or Rita Repulsa. I don't want to spoil things for anybody.
Oh, I'll dress up as Rita. Why
6,
not?
And then I make 7. Yes, and then I'm going to have the ring bearers, my officially soon to be nephews. They're going to be dressed up as Bulk and Skull, of course.
Love it.
So yeah, I got it all mapped out. So yeah, if you like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like if you care about the property and everything like that, that's something that's worth picking up. Some really cool covers with that. I think I'm going to pick up the main one, but we'll see. I haven't seen all of the what else there is, but to offer. But loved the main cover. But also, not to completely hijack this, but this is a book that I've talked about on the show, and I don't think you're caught up on the Dan Panosian Alice in Wonderland story. But Alice Never After issue 2. So this is the second arc of this series. The first one was Alice Ever After, which I did talk about on this show. And Dan is doing part of the art. He does the London stuff. Giorgio Spalletta is the Wonderland artist. But in the last issue, we got this pretty big development with Alice where she's kind of filling in the spot of another character from Wonderland. And I don't want to say who that is just on the off chance some people haven't read that first issue yet, but she takes on this role of that character. And
Bart Harley Jarvis.
Yes, exactly. And she's like, I don't want to be like, I don't want this role. And B, I'm not going to be this person despite having all these things at my disposal. And it's really interesting how she kind of starts to have her moments where she's evolving into that and trying to like, and then other people are like all the characters in Wonderland are boneheads. So it's just, there's a whole lot going on. And then at the end of the issue, there's a moment where it's like, God, like if I was her, I'd be even more pissed than I already was. So this has been I know I'm keeping it pretty vague, but again, we always try to not spoil stuff here. But really awesome stuff from Dan Panosian. This continues to be an awesome series. Very weird, very trippy. But this one, I know, again, when we had Dan on, he said, like, I'm even more excited about Alice Never After. I really enjoyed Alice Ever After. That's why I talked about it on the show. But I do think Alice Never After, like, now that there's so much like behind it, it seems like there's like more weight to the second arc of this series. So definitely something worth checking out. Of course, read Alice Ever After, the whole arc of that first.
Nice. All right. So I'll rip through most of these here. We'll have one more book we want to talk about quickly before we start our solicit.
Yeah.
30-something minutes in here. So from Dark Horse, we have Star Wars Hyperspace Stories issue 8 and Black Hammer: The End issue 1. From IDW, we have TMNT vs Street Fighter issue 3. The Hunger and the Dusk issue 2. I have been looking forward to this. I immediately put this on my dibs list. This is written by G. Willow Wilson.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. I can't wait to read this one.
She's awesome.
Yeah. And then it looks like we've got okay, so we have TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures Continued issue 4, and then IDW is doing this little thing called Endless Summer, where they have an issue coming out from TMNT Endless Summer, My Little Pony Endless Summer, Sonic the Hedgehog Endless Summer, and Dungeons and Dragons Endless Summer. So those look like they'll be more for the the young adults there, or the younger readers. The Utes, 2 Utes. So definitely check those out if you have kids and you want to, expose them to some comics. And then from Titan, we have Conan the Barbarian issue 2. From Mad Cave Studios, we have Hunt, Kill, Repeat issue 6. This is not something that's been on our radar, but that title alone makes it sound like it should have been.
Yeah.
And then from Scott Snyder's studio, his imprint, Distillery, we have The Devil's Cut issue 1. But from Whatnot Publishing, this is a book that we have both talked about, Nicholas.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Who is it? What is it? And who's it by?
It's The Plot Holes, and it's by Sean Gordon Murphy. And I'll tell you what, so I talked about this a while back. I read this when it came out as an Indiegogo campaign. And I got the digital copy, and then I got the physical copy, and I got prints with it because I love Sean Gordon Murphy's art, and I was coming off of having read Batman the White Knight. I'd not read Punk Rock Jesus at that point, but I've since read that, and I absolutely love that. And then, of course, he was the artist on one of my favorite Constantine series, one of my favorite just series in general of all time, Constantine City of Demons, or Hellblazer City of Demons. Either way, I always never remember that part. But The Plot Holes, I talked about it on here. You have read it since as well, and it's absolutely kick-ass stuff.
I talked about it on here too. It was one of my trade books.
That's right.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The concept is great. The literary characters that he references, and just the story in general. It's fantastic writing. The art's great. It's just this is a good comic book, a real good old fashioned comic book, if you will, that I'm glad that people will have access to, because you allowed me to read it, and I'm very thankful for that. But if you didn't back the Kickstarter, the Indiegogo campaign for it, then it's only a certain number of people really got to read this. So the fact that it's getting out there to the masses is fantastic.
Absolutely. And just for those wondering what this is about, basically, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 issues, but either way, the premise of this is basically like a team of characters who are going through from literature, who are going through stories in time and trying to mend stories that have these like rough endings, these plot holes, these issues within them, and before it's too late. And then then in the course of it, there's like a villain that emerges and everything. And there's a couple other things that are at play. But one of the funniest things that is going to draw people in is you get this Calvin and Hobbes type character. I always forget, Joe, from Calvin and Hobbes. Is Calvin the kid or is Hobbes?
Calvin is the boy and Hobbes the tiger.
Okay. So Calvin is, there's a Calvin-like character in here, and he's a real like asshole, piece of shit, vulgar monster. So he's like he's one of the good guys. He's on the good guys team, but he says a lot of questionable stuff. So it's pretty funny dynamic that's added to the mix, among other characters that are interesting too.
We need them. We need them to fucking get into Ryan Johnson's The Last Jedi and completely remake that shit movie. That would be wonderful. Plot holes. Get into it.
That would be funny. Yes, that would be. So that's definitely worth checking out as well. We don't talk about whatnot on here a whole heck of a lot, but that is something that should be on everybody's radar. All right, as you mentioned, we have the solicit to get to. We start obviously with the 6th of September. Joe, what do you got from Marvel?
A fairly light week, all things considered, from Marvel. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 33. We have Moon Knight issue 27. X-Men 26. Looking forward to that one. Immortal X-Men issue 11. I'm actually kind of geeked up about all things X-Men right now, to be honest with you. Like,
agreed.
I'm more invested now in some of the other titles than I am just the main line. Thanks to the Hellfire Gala. Star Wars issue 38. Scarlet Witch issue 8. Doctor Strange issue 7. Black Panther issue 4. Magneto issue 2. And Dark Droids issue 2. And then we have a few number ones here. We have Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy issue 1, written by Ron Mars with art by Ron Lim. We have Spider-Gwen Annual issue 1, written by Carlo Pacheco with art by Rosie Camp. And we have Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Omega 1, of course, Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw. And this is it. This is the conclusion, I believe, right, Nicholas?
Yep.
To this arc that we had been talking about, and it's Logan and Johnny versus the Stitcher. All bad things must come to an end, but will Wolverine and Ghost Rider meet their untimely demise at the hands of the demonic force known as Stitcher? And who is the mysterious Father Pike? The secret behind the demon's birth is revealed, and the fate of our heroes and the boy who started it all are sealed.
Ooh.
Yes.
I didn't. Well, now there were expectations, and they have been increased after hearing that synopsis. And Father Pike, that character has a wild look. Like, I understand if that character doesn't make it through this little event here, but I'd like to see a little bit more.
Isn't he officiating your wedding this weekend?
You don't need to tell everybody that. It was supposed to be a surprise. Damn it.
Well, can't tell me anything.
Yes, we're doing. Oh man! All right, let's see. From DC on the week of the 6th, Batman 137, Poison Ivy, which I feel like this has taken a little bit of a pause here. Poison Ivy issue 14, Shazam issue 3,
Shazam!
Justice Society of America issue 6, The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing issue 10. Peacemaker Tries Hard issue 5. Very excited to read that. City Boy issue 4, not to be confused with City Guys. Steelworkers issue 4, and then a couple number ones here. Blue Beetle issue 1 by Josh Trujillo and Adrian Gutierrez. May check that one out because I did enjoy that movie quite a bit. Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville issue 1 by Joanne Starr and Natasha Bustos. Then we got the Batcat Prelude to Gotham War issue 1. And then Birds of Prey, issue 1 by, we mentioned earlier, Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romero. Something that might be interesting to give a look. Of course, we got Black Canary in this, Cassandra Cain, Big Barda, Zealot, and Harley Quinn. So, I mean, that's a pretty, I'll tell you what, not from Big Barda doesn't ring any bells, but Zealot is from Wildcats, Harley Quinn, obviously, Cassandra Cain, and then Canary. Cassandra Cain and Zealot, I might need to check this one out. Kelly Thompson's writing this. This is it sounds pretty promising.
Yep. That's all you, buddy.
All right. Image.
All right. Image. We have the sacrifice. Image. The Sacrificers, issue 2. The Dead Lucky, issue 9. Swan Songs, issue 3. Have you caught up on the first 2 issues yet?
Nope.
Yeah, neither have I. Got to do that. Untold Stories of I Hate Fairyland, issue 3. Evil, issue 2. That was awkward and weird, and I apologize.
That was good. What are you talking about? That was amazing.
Weird Work, issue 3. Quest, issue 2. And a number 1, Sir Nicholas, that you would like to expound upon.
Yes, I've been interested in this one for quite a bit. This is from the people over at KLC Press, by Ethan S. Parker, Griffin Sheridan, and artist is Bob Quinn. Kill Your Darlings, issue 1. 8-year-old Rose loves nothing more than to play pretend in a magical land of her own creation. To her, okay, so just reading that first sentence, I've seen some of the art for this shit, and that's where you're going to start this. It's like this series looks very, very violent, and we've seen some pretty rave reviews. I know most recently I saw a friend of the show, Alex Packnadell, talk about this. I know I saw Scott Snyder weigh in on this. I'm not sure who else, but I've seen a few other reviews. Anyways, so continuing with the synopsis. To her, that world is as real as our own, from her fluffy friends to the terrible evil that lurks at the center of it all. In one night, the line between fantasy and reality will disappear, and ancient hunger will feed again, and Rose will be pulled into a gruesome saga that begins centuries before her birth.
Yeah, that's all you, and I'll tell you why, because I feel like this is going to hit a little too close to home for me.
Ah,
Because Swaggins has about 1,000 stuffed animals in her room. I shit you not. Maybe as a parent, I should have showed more restraint and said no a few times.
well, I haven't helped
But
you in that, so
yeah, so like this feels like it's going to be a little too close to home for me. So I will have to wait to hear what you have to say about
okay, fine with me. All right,
it. All right,
then I'll take it now. Dibs.
all right, all yours, buddy. Good
All
luck.
right, what do you got?
All right, okay. Well, I just read Image, right? So
So it's my turn. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, see how this works? We have a
Yeah.
back and forth here, Nicholas.
It's a
Right?
very good point.
It avoids awkward pauses.
Well, sometimes they happen, I guess. So from Skybound
That's like a
Prince
problem.
through Image, The Walking Dead Deluxe issue 70. From Boom, Once Upon a Time at the End of the World issue 9. Buffy the Vampire Slayer issue 2, and then a couple number ones. Hunt of the Skinwalker issue 1 by Zach Thompson and Valeria Burzo, and then Firefly The Fall Guys issue 1 by Sam Humphries and Jordi Perez.
From Dark Horse, we have Barnstormers issue 3, which I believe is the finale of that series. And then we have Survival issue 5 from both these books are friends of the show. Scott Snyder with Barnstormers and Sean Lewis with Survival. I can't wait to see how this one wraps up.
Nice. Both of them. I'm excited for Barnstormers.
Right. Oh, well, I know how it ends.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Everyone dies. We have Master of the Universe, Forge of Destiny issue 1, written by Tim Seeley with art by Eddie Nunez.
Ooh.
And then Tear Us Apart issue 1, written by Van Jensen and Jay Baruchel of
Seth Rogen, buddy.
Yeah. And I couldn't remember what fucking movie he was in for a second there.
Yeah.
And then story of my life. It was art by Alessandro Massili. I'll just wrap this up here real quick.
All right.
From IDW, we have Star Trek Defiant issue 7, Godzilla Here There Be Dragons issue 3, Dark Spaces Good Deeds issue 4, My Little Pony issue 16, and My Little Pony Camp Big Hoof issue 2. From Vault, we have The Nasty issue 4, which I've been dying to read. This book got pushed back a month. I believe there were some printing issues there. Door by Door, Night by Night issue 7, and Godfell issue 5, and then last but certainly not least, our good friends over at AWA Studios are releasing Sins of the Salted Sea issue 4. Again, this has been another absolute fucking banger of a series, so I can't wait to see. I can't wait to get my hands on this issue because I need AWA every week, and when we have a week when we don't have it, I really jones for it. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd like to be able to read this at some point too. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
2025 sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Wait, I'm not going to give you any relief. Why don't you take us into the week of the 13th then, since you want to keep talking?
Yeah, that's right. Well, people don't want to hear you anyways. They come for me. Come on. We know. Okay. We know. The people know. The people know.
Got it. Then you don't need me anymore. I'll go on mute the rest of the time.
All right, fine. As I'm starting to lose my voice. From Marvel, we have Venom issue 25, X-Force 44, X-Men Red issue 15, Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue 10, Ghost Rider 18, Darth Vader issue 38. By the way, just as a side note, 38 issues for this series. I am so pumped that it is still going. This is awesome. Love it. Incredible
Awesome.
Hulk issue 4, Red Goblin issue 8, Children of the Vault issue 2. Astonishing that my spelling of that was atrocious. Iceman issue 2. Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest issue 3. We have a couple number ones here, Nicholas. We have
Yeah.
Obi Kenobi issue 1, written by Joy Hauser with art by Salvador LaRocca.
Wait, imagine if it was actually Obi Kenobi. That's it. They don't have.
Yeah.
It sounds so weird.
Obi-Wan. Did I say Obi Kenobi?
I thought you did that on
I
purpose.
did. No. I am slowly, slowly stroking out here as we move along. Obi-Wan Kenobi issue 1, written by Joey Hauser with art by Salvador LaRocca. We have Alligator Loki issue 1, written by Alyssa Wong with art by Bob Quinn. We have Werewolf by Night issue 1. I believe this is written and drawn by Fran Galen.
I may check this out because it looks like Elsa Bloodstone's in this.
There you go, baby.
She's badass.
Avengers Inc. issue 1, written by Al Ewing with art by Leonard Kirk. And Venom Annual issue 1, written by Alyssa Wong and Stephanie Phillips.
Ooh.
With art by Sergio Fernandez Davila. And then this is the book that I am looking forward to the most, only because Chip's run on Daredevil has just ended. And that has been such an important book for me over the past several years. So I want to see where it goes from here. I'm not going to set my bar or expectation that it has to be, Zdarsky level, because that is an unfair task for writer Saladin Ahmad and art by Aaron Cooter. I mean, like, to follow Zdarsky and Chichetto, it's like Mac Jones following Tom Brady. It's just like, you don't like, I don't want to put undue pressure, on these guys, but I'm very intrigued. Born Again, the new era of Daredevil starts here. Industries up. Matt Murdock on a knockout of an adventure. Where does Elektra fit into all this? It's not much of a synopsis here. It's basically just saying, okay, we're reintroducing the characters. We're going to kind of take over where Chip left things off. And I'm just looking forward to seeing, what they do, how it does. And hopefully Daredevil will continue to be a book that I look forward to reading each and every month.
So 2 things. One, after at the end of Chip's run, it left Daredevil in an extremely interesting position. And I think when we talked about it, I wasn't sure if it had been announced that they were doing another Daredevil series, what the plan was exactly. So I was a little hesitant, but I would love to see the road that Chip was that took things in at the end. I would love to see more of that. So hopefully they do that here. I'm not going to set that expectation, but I would love that. But I'm more curious. My other thing is I'm more curious about you. I know you kind of explained it in some capacity already, but let's just say the first issue is okay, not good. Okay. You didn't screw up, you did okay. How long of a leash are you going to give for this new creative team on Daredevil?
Just like I would with any other book, 2-3 issues, and if it's a little bit better, okay, I might give it the first arc. I almost, my sort of thought process or expectation really is, okay, the first issue or 2 might be spent just trying to bridge from one voice of the character into the next. So I don't need or necessarily want, Saladin Ahmad to just take the story where Chip had left it off and continue that. I want him to make the character his own, right? And take it and tell the story that he wants to tell. But I understand it's probably going to take an issue or 2 for that transition to sort of happen, because you can't just go from one to the other. It's going to be, that would make me go, nope, okay, I'm not reading this because it's too bam, it's you know what I mean. I want there to be a little bit of a transition, and then for Ahmad and Cooter to really sort of do their own thing. But I'm going to treat it just like any other comic. I'm not going to give it, I'm not going to be like, nope, I'm not reading it because it's not Chip. but I'm not going to like read it longer than I should have just because of what the book and the character had been, if that makes sense.
That makes that makes perfect sense. I think that's a very healthy way to handle it. So good on you. All right, so having covered Marvel for the week of the 13th, let's go to DC. We got Green Lantern issue 13, World's Finest Teen Titans issue 3, Superman Lost issue 6, Danger Street issue 19, Batman Inc. We don't have a number there because Joe didn't, or did I not put it in there? Who's this is your week, yeah. Okay, so the next issue of Batman Inc. is out on the 13th. Waller versus Wildstorm issue 3, Scooby-Doo Musters issue 12. I don't know what that is.
I told you. I was getting real loopy, but by this time of the night, Nicholas.
Well, then whatever that Scooby-Doo thing is, issue 12 apparently is out next week.
I'm gonna say it's probably supposed to be monsters, but
maybe Monsters Inc. Maybe.
No, let's just move on.
All right, what do you got from Image then?
Okay, hopefully this is a bit more tidy. From Image, we have Spawn issue 346, Nocterra issue 16, King Spawn issue 26, Rogue Sun issue 16, Something Epic issue 5, The Return of Fish Flies issue 2, I Hate not Fairbyland but Fairyland issue 9, The Cull. I wrote The Cull issue 1. I should have highlighted that and put that down with the number ones there. The Enfield Gang issue 2, Monarch issue 6, and Star Signs issue 5. A couple number ones we have. The Cull issue 1. I apologize, I don't have the writer and the artist written down because I was on Planet Zippy. We have Picard's Academy issue 1, written by Sam Maggs and art by Arnella Greco. We have St. John, written by Brennan Wagner, Portland Greer, with art by Dan Shocknade. I feel like that's not correct. But I told you, man, I was like, and I meant to edit this and I didn't because I was on daddy duty all day. But we have Killmore issue 1, written by Scott Bryan Wilson, with art by Mac Fuchs.
You have to read this. Rhymes.
Yes. The city of Colonia is suffering from total economic collapse, but worse than unemployment and the urban decay is the skyrocketing homicide rate. Most of the few cops left on the force think it's just another symptom of the city's decline, but one detective has a darker theory that the most depraved killers in the country have all moved here to take advantage of the chaos. Yeah. All in on this, baby.
I'm honest. All in. I'm serious. Like if you actually want dibs on this because it rhymes with your name and it sounds good, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Oh, Killmore. Yeah. Yeah. Let's take an early dibs on this.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna forget that I took dibs on it, but we'll take dibs.
Well, if you write it down in our shared document, then I will know. I will remember that you called dibs on this too.
Okay, Killmore.
Very easy to find.
I'm writing it down.
There you go. Look at you. Do you even update that document that we share?
I do just fine. You leave me alone.
It's for my own sake too. I want to make sure.
Yeah,
that's why you don't do it. So that way you can be like, oh, I didn't remember. It's like, well, you don't use a document. That's why. That's what it is. I know your games now.
All right, finish up the fucking week there, smart ass.
Fine. All right. You know what? Whatever. I will. Not because you told me to. From Boom, we got House of Slaughter issue 17. Damn them all. Issue 8, I think. Not 79. That's for sure.
No.
Mech Cadets issue 2. Fence Redemption issue 4. By the way, you put 79, and I'm pretty sure 7 just came out because the first arc was 6 issues, which I talked about it on the show. You put 9. Like you were wrong.
Why are you 6 afraid of 7? 7, 8, 9.
Look at that. That's what it is. I am so sorry.
Long con.
I don't know if I said Fence Redemption issue 4 already, but there you go, everybody. You're welcome. Dark Horse, Murder Inc. Jagger Rose issue 5. And then St. John, I don't have an issue number. IDW, Sonic the Hedgehog issue 64. Catfight, Giddy Up issue 3. Sonic 900 Adventures. Wow.
Yep.
Then AWA, we have The Madness, which Joe has dibs on. And that was one of your favorite first issues ever for AWA, correct?
This year, yeah.
this year.
It was fantastic. I can't wait. I'm really dying for this. If you're listening, guys, you can just go ahead and send me that review copy super early so I can get cracking on it.
Or you
No
could
pun
just send it to
intended.
me and then not give it to Joe as well. That would also work because I won't give
No,
it to him.
that would not be great.
From Titan, we got Scarlet Couture, the Munich File issue 2, and then from Vault we have Dead Box issue 4, which is by now friend of the show Mark Russell. Of course, if you haven't listened to that conversation already, which we didn't talk about that off the top, but if you haven't listened to that conversation, go check that one out. Had a good time chatting with Mark.
Yeah, excellent chat, Mark. Real quick, this was week 2. It was a little maybe not some of my best work. I'm gonna tell you something. School starts next week. I couldn't be happier. Right? I don't have to do this shit late night Monday. I'll have all day Tuesday to do it now, baby.
There you go.
So it'll probably still be just as fucked up, but at least I'll be well rested.
That's all that I care about. I didn't do shit.
I didn't bring shit.
All right. But the week of I think this is the week for Mark Russell's AWA series, the week of the 20th it is, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Take us through what we got from Marvel for the week of September 20th.
All right. We have The Amazing Spider-Man issue 34, Wolverine issue 37, Guardians of the Galaxy issue 6, Uncanny Avengers issue 2, Star Wars Bounty Hunters issue 38, Dark X-Men issue 2, Death of the Venomverse issue 4, Loki issue 4, Alpha Fight issue 2, Deadpool Batter Blood issue 4, Cult of Carnage Misery issue 5, and then we have a whole slew of number ones. I don't know if there's any you want to read in particular. I'm just gonna mention them in order. You stop me if there's one you want me to, if you want to read, Nicholas.
Yep.
But we have the X-Men Annual issue 1, written by Paul Allor and Stephanie Phillips, with art by Alessandro Miracolo and Alberto Foch. We have Uncanny. For show. We have Uncanny Spider-Man issue 1, written by Cy Spurrier, with art by Lee Garbett.
I'm interested in this. Cy Spurrier does a very good job with Nightcrawler, and he's on the run right now. Nightcrawler's had some really interesting shit happen to him of late. And obviously just the X-Men in general have. So this is where he's in the shadows, he's on the run. I'm excited to see what this looks like. So I will absolutely be checking this one out.
Nice. We have Captain America issue 1, written by J. Michael Straczynski, with art by Jesus Saez. We have Predator versus Wolverine issue 1.
It looks pretty cool.
Written by Benjamin Percy, with art by Greg Land, Ken Lashley, and Andrea DeVito.
Worth checking out.
That one and the Captain America, J. Michael Straczynski. You got it.
Yeah. And Jesus Saez was on was from that the Jason Aaron Punisher story.
Yes. Definitely got to check that out. What If Dark Carnage issue 1, written by Larry Hama, with art by John McCrae. We have Strange Academy Moon Knight. Marvel's just making up for all the weeks of light number ones here. Strange Academy Moon Knight issue 1, written by Carlos Hernandez, with art by Zay Carlos. And Star Wars Dark Droids D Squad issue 1, written by Mark Guggenheim, with art by Salvador Espin and David Messina.
Yep.
And then that's it. That was a flipping mouthful, Nicholas. What do we have from DC?
Try and catch your breath. So we got from DC, Nightwing issue 106, Batman Superman World's Finest issue 19, Superman issue 6, Titans issue 3, Catwoman issue 57, Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker issue 5, Hawkgirl issue 3, The Vigil issue 5, Cyborg issue 3, and then Harley Quinn Black, White, and Redder issue 3. And then we got a few number ones here, quite a few number ones here. We got Green Lantern War Journal issue 1 by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Montos. That was the only name. This is John Stewart Green Lantern. I may check this one out just because Philip Kennedy Johnson, and then the whole War Journal premise. I don't know if they've done that with Green Lantern before, but that's obviously a big Punisher thing, so I may check that out. We got Junior Baker, the Righteous Faker issue 1. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh no, I scrolled down too far. Sorry. We only have one other issue 1 from from DC, which you wanted to talk about. Trying to give you more of a breath.
Thank you. I needed it because I can't believe I'm saying this here, but
Yeah.
Wonder Woman issue 1, a title I don't generally read. Now, tease, we're going to have a guest on our program for a pre-recorded show where we talk about we rank DC Black Label books. So be on the lookout for that. And one of the books that came up was a Wonder Woman story that sounded fantastic. So Wonder Woman issue 1, written by Tom King, with art by Daniel Semper. I enjoy his art very much. The Amazon Warrior is now a wanted outlaw. A new era for the Amazon Warrior begins from the superstar team of Tom King. After a mysterious Amazonian is accused of mass murder, Congress passes the Amazon Safety Act, barring all Amazons from U.S. soil. To carry out their plans, the government starts a task force, the Amazon Extradition Entity, or known as AXE, to remove those who don't comply by any means necessary. Now in her search for the truth behind the killing, Wonder Woman finds herself an outlaw in a world she once swore to protect. So I love a good mystery here, which it sounds like we're going to get. We could get some, hopefully we'll get some good, shades of Winter Soldier, government conspiracy stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
So it's not Batman. So Tom King, I know you can do it, baby.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this one.
This does sound pretty good. I may have to check this one out as well. All right, Image, hit me.
Image. All right, we have The Return of Saga issue 66, Gunslinger Spawn issue 24, The Scorched issue 22, The Bone Orchard Mythos Tenement issue 4, Time Before Time issue 27, The Forged issue 4, Savage Dragon issue 267, Deep Cuts issue 4, Click Click Boom issue 4, In Hell We Fight issue 4, Terror War issue 6, Scrapper issue 3, and Immortal Sergeant issue 9. And then some number ones here. Nicholas, I'll rattle these off quickly. Again, stop me if there's one that piques your interest. We have Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, The Adventures of Adam Starr and the Solar Legion, written by Jack Kirby with art by Kirby and Tom Scioli. We have Rat Queens, Sister Warriors, Queens, issue 1. That's a mouthful. Written by Curtis J. Weeb, with art by Rock Upchurch.
Yeah, this seems like it's like a conclusion. So I don't know if like Rat Queens is like the title, and then that they're just adding on to make it a number 1.
Yeah.
But so I guess if you've read Rat Queens in the past, Joe and I have not. Maybe it's something we should check out. I don't know, but
no, I've read something about hamsters though.
Oh, wait a minute! Is it time? I should get a sounder for this. I keep this in
you keep it at the ready.
It's always there, and I never use it. Adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters. Finally, it's time.
It's time. We're gonna do a full mainline episode on that. And then Junior Baker, Righteous Faker, issue 1, written by Joe Casey, art by Ryan Quackenbush. That's a hell of a name.
Yep.
And this is a miniseries premiere. And then Skybound, real quick. We have The Walking Dead Deluxe issue 71 and Arcade Kings issue 5. Nicholas, what do we have from Boom?
Something is Killing the Children, issue 33. Dune, House Harkonnen, issue 9. Sirens of the City, issue 3. Wild's End, issue 4. A banner week for Boom Studios. And then on top of that, there's a first issue, Rare Flavors, issue 1. This is from Ram V with art by Felipe, Andrade. Are you interested?
Andrade.
No, that's Andrade. It's Andrade or Andrade. That's not Andrade. That's a Portuguese last name. Yeah. Anyways,
this has been your Portuguese minute.
You're gonna meet so many Portuguese people at this wedding. Actually, I didn't even think about that. There you go. You're gonna come out speaking the language.
I can't wait.
But are you interested in checking this out because it is it's Ram V?
I mean, of course, I always try to read his first issues of things. And this one completely blew past my radar. So I'll definitely give the first issue a read. It's Boom, number 1. You got it, right?
Yeah, before you get into Dark Horse, just the first sentence of this is pretty interesting for everybody. Discover the tantalizing tale of Reuben Bash, a demonic Raskasha with a down-to-earth dream of becoming the next Anthony Bourdain. Well, it's something that maybe worth checking out.
Definitely.
But anyways, take us to Dark Horse, please.
Dark Horse. We have Stranger Things, Tales from Hawkins, issue 4. The Lonesome Hunters, The Wolf Child, issue 3. The Savage Squad 6, issue 3. And Killer Queens 2, issue 2. And what is gracing the cover of our Solicit graphic is The Witcher, Wild Animals, issue 1, written by Bartosz Stibber with art by Natalia Rakina. Nicholas, tell us what it's about.
So, for those who don't know, we had Bartosz on the show a little while back. Had a great time, some great insight on the character and writing the character, and obviously somebody like an individual in Geralt that we care about so much. I plan on reading the prose novels, and Joe has already listened to some of those on audiobook, and definitely it's like this, like if you like the character, no matter how much you know Geralt, these are worth checking out. The synopsis for this one. Evil wears many faces, as does justice. From land to sea, Geralt finds that where man and creatures coexist, this is an unspoken rule one where the skills of a witcher go beyond killing monsters. Based on this hit video game, this comic features the U.S. comics debut of Ukrainian artist Natalia Rakina, Silver Award winner of the Japan International Manga Award. So maybe a little bit of different flair. Someone who artwork, I didn't know the name, and I know Bartosz has been dealing with different artists from each series that he's written. I believe he's done 3 so far. In the last one, I'm blanking on. I think it was Mickey something, but like loved his art style. So we'd love to see him in the mix, but love seeing new people, getting exposure to new artists, especially award-winning artists too. So very excited for any time we're seeing more Witcher, especially when Bartosz is writing it.
Oh yeah, I was pumped when I saw this pop up, and I think his artists have also done a very good job capturing the tone for that particular story in that particular book. So 100% looking for this. I apologize, I had to step away for a second. My child was treating our first floor as a mosh pit. So I had to tell her to stop jumping around because
Kid gets it.
Yeah, it was a little much. So I'll take these next 2 here, Nicholas. So from IDW, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 143, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stranger Things issue 3, and Earth Divers issue 10. And a book I am very excited for it to get on the shelves and for people to get a chance to read, because this is just another AWA banger. They've not missed at all this year with any of their series that they've dropped. And Rumpus Room issue 1, written by Mark Russell with art by Ramon Rosales, is no exception. This is we had Mark Russell on. That audio is dropped. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Download it, listen to it. It was just a great chat. Mark is he's got a great sense of humor, very insightful. He a lot of satire in his reading or in his writing, I should say. In this issue, this first issue was wild, man. And the concept of it is fucked up, and the characters are fucked up. And the way that the first issue ends definitely does its job. It sinks its hooks into you, makes you want that second issue. Again, guys, if you're gals over at AWA, if you're listening to this, watching this, please just, you can just like all the books that are coming out in the next year and a half, just flood my email. I will read them all. Can't wait.
By the way, sinks their hooks into you. This definitely appropriate. That, and I know you didn't see this, but there's like a musical artist or somebody who recently, like I just saw this on Twitter yesterday. Basically, remember in Hit Me, where I'm blanking on the main character's name, but she's like hanging from hooks.
Yes.
There's like somebody who just did that to themselves for like a song and realized just off 2 hooks on their back. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No,
great Christopher series. I had we got to talk to her. I haven't talked to her in a while.
Yeah, not about hanging off hooks. I'll tell you that much. But real quick synopsis here. Meet Bob Shrunk, technocrat, billionaire, collector of bad art, and a victim of a hideous skin condition that can only be treated with a highly illicit and definitely not FDA approved face cream that must be harvested. That's all I'm gonna say. Absolutely tremendous. You're gonna want to put this on your pull list. I know by the time you're listening, the FOC is already come and gone, but when you see it at the store, grab it, throw it on your pull list so you don't miss any future issues. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, and if you didn't put it on your pull list ahead of the FOC, then just let your shop know so that way you can get it, because we'd love to see this book sell out, or your publishers have to reorder, whatever the process exactly is at that stage. Then I'll take the rest of these, Joe, before we move to the week of the 27th. So from Vault, we got Queen of Swords, a barbaric story, issue 3. Really been enjoying this series. This is the first full-on spin-off of the barbaric universe, and it's been great. Money Shot comes again, issue 4. From Ablaze, we got Traveling to Mars, issue 9, The Mighty Barbarians, issue 6, and then a big week for Dynamite to wrap things up. Disney Villains, Maleficent, issue 5, Red Sonja, issue 3. By the way, the covers that Dan Panosian has been sharing, they're so fucking good. He's a great artist, but I'm like, this may be where I check out Red Sonja finally. I've never done it before, but I may do it with Panosian doing all this work on the character. Gargoyles, Dark Ages, issue 3. And I should probably check this one out too. Disney Villains, Hades, issue 2. The Gargoyles, not the Hades. Vampirella versus the Superpowers, issue 5. Vampirella, Dracula, Rage, issue 2. Pathfinder, Wake the Dead, issue 3. And Victory, issue 4.
All right, so let's wrap this baby up because we got a wedding to get to and we got some dancing to do.
Yes, sir.
And some bourbon to drink, I think, my friend.
Yes,
so the week of the 27th, you will be in Hampton Beach on your honeymoon. We have from Marvel Comics. You got to get that Blinks fried dough, bro. It's delicious. Ultimate Invasion, issue 4. The Avengers, issue 5. The Invincible Iron Man, issue 10. The Immortal Thor, issue 2. Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, issue 36. Moon Knight, City of the Dead, issue 3. Blade, issue 3. Death of the Venomverse, issue 5. Jean Grey 2. Did you read Jean Grey 1 yet?
No,
neither did I. Shit, I gotta get on that. Okay. Realm of X, issue 2. Miss Marvel, The New Mutant, issue 2. Storm, issue 5. Miracle Man by Gaiman and Buckingham, The Silver Age, issue 6. X-Men Days of Future Past, Doomsday, issue 3. Spider-Man India, issue 4. Star Wars The Mandalorian, season 2, issue 4. Marvel Unleashed, issue 2. And the number 1, I'm surprised only one, The Avengers Annual, written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Alberto Foch. DC, Nicholas, what do we got?
Yes, I was just double checking myself because we had all these other annuals. That was an X-Men annual that we got earlier. I was thrown off by that. Okay. Anyways, from DC, Detective Comics issue 1074, Action Comics 1057, Green Arrow issue 4. I'm excited to get back on this one. I was reading this before the pause because of Night Terrors. Harley Quinn issue 32, Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow issue 6, Batman, The Brave and the Bold issue 5, Unstoppable Doom Patrol issue 6, Tales of the Titans, issue 3, Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor, issue 2, Spirit World, issue 5, The Penguin, issue 2, Batman Beyond, Neo-Gothic, issue 3, Wildcats, issue 11, Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House, issue 5. I can't believe you missed out on a good story, my friend.
I'm sure I did.
Yes.
I'm sure I did. I'm a giant. Yeah,
I have since read some Sandman Universe stuff, and maybe you'll hear about that in the conversation Joe alluded to.
Out.
The Flash issue 1 to kick us off on the number ones. This is by Cy Spurrier and Mike Diodato. I mean, this is quite the team. Wally West races towards the future with a new all-star creative team. Wally West has never been quicker, more fulfilled, more heroic. His loving family is around him, and yet something is off. Very off. People like Wally West a lot. Like Flash fans seem to like Wally West more than Barry Allen. I'm not a Flash guy either way, and I don't believe you are either. But I like Cy Spurrier. I like him a lot. Mike Diodato Jr., we like him a lot. We talk about, actually, I didn't think about this till right now. Just like, oh, Mike Diodato, that's cool. But like his art doing Flash,
yeah. Wild.
Got to check out the first issue of this one for sure.
100%.
Power Girl issue 1 by Leah Williams and Eduardo Pencina. But the thing that I am most interested in, I do plan on reading this Gotham War, but this right here, this synopsis really it's like, oh, this could be important. Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War, Red Hood issue 1. So outside of the Batman, Catwoman special that you talked about that's out this week, and then something that is at the end that wraps things up. The only side story we get in this event is Red Hood shit. So to get this, I didn't realize that till you were talking about earlier. This is by Matt Rosenberg and Nicola Sismasia, I believe is how you say it. But the synopsis: the Gotham War has fractured the Bat family in dramatic ways, none more intensely than with Jason Todd. This stunning event will forever alter the destiny of the man who wears the red hood.
So what I'll say is that we've talked about this that for the past year and a half, maybe even 2 years at this point, DC's really kind of outside of the three Jokers and Chip's quick little run there with it during
Batman
Urban Legends. They've really screwed up Red Hood. They've really sort of made him just a slightly edgier Nightwing, right?
Yeah, that's generous. But yeah,
right. What I'll say is that in the Batcat, the prelude to the Gotham War there that I talked about earlier, it seems like Jason Todd is back.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't a nice guy, He was slick back hair, pretty cool look to him. And I think Rosenberg wrote a little story, Red Hood story as well. Did he not?
He wrote Task Force Z. Yeah, he wrote Task Force Z. I wasn't too big on Task Force Z, but again, it was the same kind of issue that we're dealing. It was a weird, the zombie concept was a little odd at first, and then just the general Jason Todd being Jason Todd has been in charge of teams and it's been good. You had him with Artemis and Bizarro. I really enjoyed that. The second iteration, the rebirth iteration of Red Hood and the Outlaws. And then you have Red Hood and the Outlaws with Starfire and Roy Harper. I mean, that's that. I absolutely love that. But that team, those other characters are not Jason Todd's the biggest asshole of that bunch. Even Bizarro is he's just a doofus. And that's why he's he's bad. It's not he's been obviously everybody knows what's up with Bizarro, but it's just Jason Todd's the worst guy as much as he's the leader. So that's why it's interesting in that story. And then in Suicide Squad Get Joker, where he's at the center of it, he's the best guy. And I don't care for that.
No, there was definitely vibes of, I think Jason Todd is back. And I think we're gonna see that here. I think they're sort of I said, we got to get this character back on track here.
I didn't expect that. That's a very pleasant surprise. I love the sound of that. How the fuck did you not tell me this sooner?
Well, Nicholas, I like to keep you on your toes. Can't tell you everything. Then what do you have to look forward to?
I guess nothing. But can you tell me what's coming out from Image this week?
I will try. We have Spawn issue 346, Monstrous issue 48. What's the furthest place from here? Issue 14, Newburn issue 11, Per Evil issue 3. I'm not doing that again. No. That you just get a taste. You got to pay for the rest. That was weird. The Schlub issue 2. Capterra, you gotta cut the shit. Capterra Universal Truth issue 2, The Savage Strength of Starstorm issue 5, and then the number ones we have the end. This Ends Tonight issue 1, written by Jerry Duggan, with Kevin Mayo and Robert Wyndham, with art by Jay Lee, and then a book, Nicholas, that we're both very excited about. We both have had the privilege of reading this book. I would say mostly fully complete.
Yes, we got to see this with we didn't see it full in color, but most of it was there. So it was kind of cool to get to experience that. That is a first for us, where we got to all the lettering was there and everything. But Edenwood issue 1, written and drawn by Tony Daniel. And I mean, so Tony Daniel obviously has right now he's most recently done Nocterra, with Scott Snyder. And obviously the art in that series has been top notch. But Tony Daniel also wrote some Deathstroke stuff in the past, and the other characters that DC's done quite a bit with. So very accomplished. But I'm very, very excited. I was very excited to check this out. And I was like, the vibe of like the look of the character who we're seeing that Tony Daniel's been kind of advertising, over on Twitter. I don't know about elsewhere, but it's just like this, like demon hunter looking character who is what it is we learn more about in this issue. Oh my goodness. And the world that it's set in, like it was going really strong. And then it just like, it got better like midway through. And then the end of it, it's like, what the fuck? It's almost better maybe for our own mental sanity that we didn't have the colors towards the end of this thing, because it gets freaking gruesome. But I absolutely loved it. The way he uses narration in this issue too is very, very interesting. I really enjoyed that as well. So a very, very promising first issue, an absolutely TLDR worthy start.
100%. And the great thing about it too is that there was a great deal of world building without a ton of exposition.
Yes. Yep.
Right. I love that. There was no point where I was like, you felt bogged down by having to sort of describe the world, the rules that everyone's got to play by, things like that. Like it was done in a very succinct way.
Yeah.
It was very enjoyable to read. The art's fantastic. This is going to be a killer story.
To that end, I don't think I read the synopsis for this before reading the first issue. I could be wrong, but I don't think I did. Did you?
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah. So you guys don't need to hear it from us. You honestly don't. You can look it up, but we're not going to give it to you because I seriously think you guys will be like, you'll have a plenty fun time not checking that out beforehand. All right. Moving over to Skybound, we got Void Rivals issue 4, Firepower issue 27, Summoner's War Awakening issue 6. From Boom, we got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 112, Alice Never After issue 3, The Expanse Dragon Tooth issue 5, Creed The Next Round issue 4, and then we got for a couple number ones, Stuff of Nightmares Red Murder issue 1 by R.L. Stein and Adam Gorham, and then Coda issue 1 by Cy Spurrier and Matthias Bagara, team that we've seen before. What about Dark Horse, Joe?
Was that the team for Step by Bloody Step?
Yes, yes, that was the team. Yes,
part of it, right? Yeah. Because there was two. Yeah. So from Dark Horse, we have Star Wars Hyperspace Stories issue 9, The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos issue 4. Every time I read that, I want to say Christopher Cross in Newman's voice, and Christopher Cross. We have Masquerade issue 8, Black Hammer The End issue 2, and then a book I've been looking forward to. We got two number ones here from Dark Horse. One that I've been looking forward to, Usagi Yojimbo Ice and Snow issue 1. This is of course written and drawn by Stan Sakai. And then we have Subgenre issue 1, written by Matt Kent with art by Wilfredo Torres. And I just want to dive into this one real quick. A man is living two lives. He is a private detective in a dystopian cyberpunk future trying to solve a triple murder. But when he falls asleep, he wakes up as a wandering adventurer in a barbaric fantasy world where magic exists. Is he two separate people, or is he a third person that has undergone a psychotic split? He jumps back and forth from sword-wielding barbarian to jaded private eye, trying to solve the brutal crime. But the bigger question is, can he merge these realities without losing himself? Yeah. There was a chunky synopsis, but it sounds fantastic. And that's the second book that I've talked about here, number 1, where there's been a detective and a mystery and all that. So I'm like, I love these kind of stories. I'm always going to be all in on them.
Sensing a theme. All right, I'm going to take us home so we can get out of here, Joe. So we got IDW
Country Road,
TMNT
take us home
versus Street Fighter issue 4.
I belong.
Star Trek issue 12. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning. You could have kept going. Saturday Morning Adventures Continued issue 5. Bryn Mawr issue 3. The Rocketeer in the Den of Thieves issue 3. Godzilla War for Humanity issue 2. My Little Pony issue 17. Dark Spaces, the Hollywood Special issue 2. Couple number ones here. Star Trek Day of Blood, Shax's Best Day issue 1 by Ryan North and Derek Charm. And then Sonic the Hedgehog, Amy's 30th Anniversary Special. Really? Amy's been around that long? Issue 1 by Ian Flynn and Aaron Hammerstrom. From AWA, the Ribbon Queen continues with issue 3. From Vault.
wait. So, Sir Nicholas stayed over at Casa de la Gilmore this past Saturday night because we had a golf outing the next day. Brag. And I've always got a stack of comic books. I've got my long boxes, my short boxes. I've got 4 stacks of comics underneath in my entertainment center. One are books. One is my stack, and then there's 2 piles of books that I've read that have been alphabetized, ready to be put away. And then there's a pile of books I've read that haven't been alphabetized yet that need to be alphabetized. And so I left my stack of books that needs to be read just right on top out in the open. And it was a very benign cover from the Ribbon Queen issue 2. But Nicholas just says, you might want to, not have that out in the open. I've got no idea inside because this strike that I allowed very generously of me to give Nick dibs on this, but I have no idea what's inside. So I've just got this thing, lying, all willy-nilly about. And for all I know, it could be like a issue of Penthouse in there for Pete's sake.
You'd be lucky if it was that. Yeah, that's like, especially like that one. That issue, it would take 2 pages, and then it's like, it would be like, Daddy, why are you reading this stuff?
Oh boy,
Daddy, what is life? Like, you get all those questions if she sees the spread that you get on pages 2 and 3 of that thing. My goodness, forget it. Hey, you complain about her sneaking it, like trying to like get in your room. Like, forget about it, dude. Like, you're done. All right. Anyways, Vault, Sainted Love, issue 1, written by Steve Orlando and art by Giappata. Titan, Conan the Barbarian, issue 3. Heat Seeker, a Gun Honey series, issue 3. Dead by Daylight, issue 3. Blade Runner 2039, issue 7. This feels like it's been going on forever. Maybe it's just me. And then Blitmap, issue 2. I don't know what that is. From Ablaze, we got Traveling to Mars, issue 10. And then Almost Dead, issue 1 by, I was confused when I saw this, but this is written by Galaxy. I have no idea who that is. And then art by Ryan Benjamin. And then from Dynamite, we got Gargoyles, issue 10, Darkwing Duck, issue 9, Draculina, Blood Simple, issue 6. Sounds like something that Billy would enjoy. Elvira in Monsterland, issue 5, King Kong, The Great War, issue 4, and Betty Page, issue 4. And that, my friend, is the September Solicit. Woo!
Yeah, we did it. We got through it. Fuck ups and all.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So that is going to do it for us. We will have one more stream before we both venture off into parts unknown. But until then, Joe, I will see you soon. And make sure between now and then, stay sexy.
Yeah, and to keep my fucking mouth shut, apparently.
Mm-hmm.